President Bola Tinubu has appealed to power generation companies to give the Nigerian government more time to complete the verification and validation of long-standing debt owed to them. Speaking during a meeting with members of the Association of Power Generation Companies at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, the president reiterated his administration's commitment to resolving the liquidity crisis, strengthening the survival of Nigeria's electricity sector, and the credibility of the broader reform agenda. TV360's Victoria Konde reports.
With fears of a looming nationwide blackout, the federal government is working to calm tensions in Nigeria's electricity sector, a sector grappling with over a decade of accumulated debts and weakening investor confidence. At the heart of the conversation is a 4 trillion naira liability dating as far back as 2015.
Increase in the country's installed capacity for energy generation from 13 gigawatts to 14 gigawatts and the attainment of an all-time generation peak of 5,801 megawatts and the maximum daily energy record ever in this country of 128,370 megawatt hour on the March 4, 2025. This was due to Zungeru, the new hydropower company in Zungeru of 700 megawatts.
Adelabu acknowledged the progress made under the Tinubu administration, citing over $2 billion in new investments, and disclosed that power sector annual revenue has grown by 70%. But he warned that these gains could be lost if the government fails to address legacy debts dating back to 2015.
Attraction of over $2 billion in fresh investments into the sector to further extend electricity access in the country. Commencement of the process to transition the industry towards full commercialization, which increased the sector's revenue by 70% from 1 trillion naira in 2023 to 1.7 trillion naira by the end of 2024. And this also reduced government liability in the sector.
Special Advisor on Energy disclosed that the President has granted anticipatory approval for a 4 trillion naira bond program to offset verified debts. She emphasized that only properly validated claims would be honored.
We, on the government side, because NBET, one of the entities that was created to contractually sit between the GENCOS and the federal government, then validated 1.8 trillion for that period. Since that period, we have had 200 billion in unfunded subsidies that have accumulated the federal government's liability. So as of April 2025, the total exposure that we are carrying at the moment is 4 trillion.
The president urged patience from the GENCOS and restraint from financial institutions as the government continues auditing the 4 trillion naira claimed by power firms.
The power, I believe, is the most important discovery of humanity in the last 1,000 years. There's nothing that could, surpass that. The economic will grow, and we will consume more energy. We'll be in position to pay our debts. We'll give you papers to trade, and they will give you utilize to ensure continuity in the business.
Industry leaders at the meeting applauded the economic reforms taken so far by Tinubu's administration.
I tweeted that we were producing and losing 97% of our oil production. 97, Mr. President. Over 50,000 barrels, 97%. Mr. President, every month we do what is called fiscalization. Last month, for month of June, and let's say Energy will know this, we got 98%. So 2% loss is significant.
A long-standing issue is now being dealt with, and I can say, and I can assure you that we expect it to take a matter of weeks, given your approval for the liquidity solution, subject, as we have heard, subject to verification. But we do have a 4 trillion naira structured arrangement to effectively resolve the liquidity challenges in this sector.
With peak electricity generation recently hitting a record 5,801 megawatts and daily energy delivery at an all-time high, the Tinubu administration has shown signs of forward momentum in the sector. But with 4 trillion naira still hanging in the balance and generation companies sounding the alarm, Nigeria's energy future may ultimately depend not just on reforms, but on results. Victoria Akonde, TV 260 News, Lagos.